With the World Cup happening in America right now, this country is booming with tourism, yet many people from the outside think that this country is not as appealing anymore. I don't know if it's from the politics or it's from the media. They think it's this third world country now, it's this war zone. Ridiculous. Many people who are visiting this country, as you're seeing from the World Cup, they're getting interviewed. Europeans, Asians, everybody. They're saying just how great America is and that they've been lied to the media. Anyway, we're watching a video today says, why are tourists turning away from America? This is from Times News. Original link will be down below in the description if you want to check that out. Like always, comment down below your thoughts as you're watching this video. Let's get into it.
The United States welcomes tens of millions of tourists from around the world every year. However, despite its variety of star attractions, America's tourism industry is now in decline. So why are foreign tourists turning away from
I am curious to know why. I really want to know.
Shows a worrying trend for the US tourism industry. The number of international arrivals to the US dropped by 5% in 2025 compared with the previous year.
The US has seen a reduction in tourism basically since Trump returned to the White House. That has been driven particularly by countries like Canada, where there have been active kind of attempts to boycott spending money in the US because of Trump's threats to Canadian sovereignty. But you've also seen a decline basically in European visitors, and that is costing the US economy billions and billions of dollars.
So why are people more reluctant to holiday in America?
There are various reasons why there is a decline. I mean, part of it is about the politics. So, for example, Canadian visitors are staying away specifically in protest at Trump's threats towards Canada. But then you also have a kind of perception problem that is growing because of the protests that you saw in LA and Minneapolis that turned violent.
I haven't seen any issues so far from the World Cup. I don't know, maybe I'm missing something. But obviously,
kind of big
many Latin American countries
capture global audiences and maybe kind of
played in the World Cup. Didn't really see any incidents there.
And booking holidays to the US.
In Trump's America, how easy is it to travel to the United States?
There are also changes that have been put forward by the Trump administration that would make it harder to come as a tourist to the US.
Lindsey Graham, the guy on the right, he passed away today, actually.
Which is just a kind of tourism visa, essentially. Under the new changes, you already have to kind of answer a few questions, but the new changes proposed by the Trump administration would see kind of pretty aggressive vetting of people's social media profiles. They'd have to supply details of what they've been posting over the past several years, and that has kind of alarmed people who maybe have tweeted once that they don't like Trump very much and they fear that that could ruin their holiday. So that's another reason that has kind of caused anxiety and kind of apprehension about coming to the US. The next few years are pretty critical for the US tourism industry, starting just this summer with the World Cup, which is being hosted by the US, Mexico and Canada. But then also you've got the LA Olympics in 2028. And yet there's this reputational problem that the US tourism industry is trying to battle, which is trying to convince visitors that it's still safe and they're still welcome in the US, which is quite something that, at a time when you would be expecting America to be experiencing a boom in tourism and profiting from these big world events taking place. In fact, the opposite is happening.
So I don't know when that video was made. I'm going to assume within the past year, but looking at the World Cup and just seeing everybody visiting America, they've been enjoying it. I mean, I don't know. If you want to link stuff down below in the comments where it's the complete opposite and people are running into ICE issues and I don't even know. I really don't know. I mean, I think the perspective that I'm seeing is that many people are enjoying their time in the World Cup. From Japan to Scotland. I know Scotland was loving it up in Boston. Holland, the Norwegian soccer player, he's enjoying America. So many people are enjoying America who are visiting America. And I don't know. I think that's really changing the perspective of what people think of America now. They were all scared because of what was happening with ICE. Let's just say that's just not the reality of what happens often. All right, that was a very rare situation, a very sad situation. What happens when ICE did those shootings, but it happened twice. Okay, I mean, are you going to be scared to go outside every time you hear about a car crash? Are you scared to go on the road every time you hear a car crash? Every time you see somebody get stabbed, get shot? All tragic stuff, but it doesn't stop you from living your life. Okay, I hear bad stuff about other countries. I hear bad stuff about Ireland and Italy. Yeah, I'm loving trying to go and visit them, right? I don't let that stop my life. You just see the bad stuff get propped up so much in the media that it gets you scared, it gets you anxious. Obviously, though, we saw the people the World Cup fans from all around the country, especially many Latin America countries, and they're loving it. They're having a good time in America, exposing all the lies, all the hatred. A lot of them are more patriotic and more American than a lot of actual U.S. citizens. It's a bit embarrassing, to be honest. I wish I didn't have to say that, but they're awesome, all right? They're living this country, saying more positive things than a lot of American citizens are. So what does that really tell you about the tourism? I'm sure, yeah, a year ago that was true, but I think definitely it changed the perspective. If you're a European and you're scared to visit America, I'd love to hear why down below in the comments. I'd really like to hear why. I travel all across America. I love America. There's so many things to see, from the beaches. I was just in Miami back in February. Beautiful South Beach, Miami. So many people from different countries. There was a person with me at the beach from England. There was somebody from Spain. There's so many other Europeans. I saw a lot of Ukrainians, a lot of Polish people visiting. So it's a very popular area in America, and there's of course so many other areas in America because it's so diverse with its natural areas. You have the Grand Canyon, you have the national parks like Yellowstone, you have California, you have North Dakota, South Dakota, you have Central America, which is nice. I mean, so many places in America. Niagara Falls, so many places. Of course, you have sports, and then of course the World Cup is showing a lot of these people what America is about. So I don't know. I think tourism to America is perfectly safe. Don't get too scared what you see on the media, what you see online. I think it's just fine. And if you're not traveling to America because of politics, because you don't like Donald Trump, I think you're missing out. Believe me, it does not control your everyday life. Nobody's really thinking about Trump unless you absolutely need to. Okay? Believe me, you'll be okay. Make sure to leave a like, comment down below your thoughts of this video. Make sure to subscribe. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm out, guys. Peace.